What's up, everybody? I'm Cronocyde, and welcome to episode 6 of CronoCast, a PlayStation podcast. CronoCast is a PlayStation exclusive podcast where I talk with my co-host Yemi the Ferret, aka Yemi, about all things PlayStation. Yemi, how are you, dude?
Oh, I'm doing great. How are you?
You sound wonderful, man. I'm doing great too. Played any games this weekend or during the week?
Oh, I tell you what, I was playing a lot more of that Guacamelee 2,
Have you finished the
and
game yet, or?
I have not finished the game, but I can now change into a chicken at whim. So that's fun.
Oh, so it's pretty much the same as the first game, then.
Yeah, but it's a lot of fun. I've really been enjoying it. Lots of platforming challenges and all that. It's a great game.
There's a couple of games like that are like built for me, but I haven't played yet. Like Shovel Knight, Guacamelee 2 is one of them. Hollow Knight, which we'll talk a bit more during the news. And yeah, there's a couple of games like this that I didn't buy yet, but it's made for me. So I don't know what I'm doing with my life, honestly, man.
I know you got some backlash for Shovel Knight.
Yeah, right. It's game consolers, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I understand what he's saying too. I don't know, man. But Shovel Knight is like a weird case where the game is like $40 in Canada, and I kind of refuse to pay that. But it's kind of a big game, so I don't know why I'm hesitating. There's a lot of good games coming out too, like a game that we cannot talk on PlayStation Podcast, but Super Smash.
Mm-hmm.
So and Spyro too, which I have pre-ordered. I cannot buy every game, so yeah, that's a problem. Cash is a problem, man.
Understandable.
So there's a lot of news to cover, a lot of cool news too. So we'll jump right in. What do you think about that?
I say we jump in head first.
We jump with the big one. PlayStation. This one is kind of surprising because PlayStation usually don't do that, but PlayStation Classic announced and dated a little bit like the Super Nintendo Classic and the Nintendo Classic. Sony joined the retro mini console party, so it will be priced at $99.99 US, 130 Canadian, of course, $30 more. It will come with 20 games. And the games we have right now confirmed is Final Fantasy VII, Tekken 3, Wild Arms, Jumping Flash, which I don't know about, and Ridge Racer Type 4, and other legendary titles. So what do you think about this idea of PlayStation?
I think it's a good idea, you know. It's not like it's a bad idea, but you're shipping it with 20 games and you're charging $100?
Yeah,
Come
that's
on.
$5 per games, man.
I mean, I know Nintendo is like not the topic of the show, but I mean, you look at the SNES Classic and the NES Classic, and those have modding capabilities. You can have up to 200 games on those consoles.
Yep, and
It's
they are easily crackable too.
Mhm.
Not that I condemn that, but yeah, it's a really open console, and you can play pretty much all the titles. And yeah, there's much more titles and much more quality titles too. I think so. We don't have all the titles, but yeah, man, it's expensive for sure. 20
I
games is not enough for me.
I think we can already cross out the Spyro games and the Crash games because they want people to buy the newer versions of those games. But I think there's also going to be like a store where you can pay to have more games as they get released. But I think that they went about this in the wrong direction if that's the case, especially with the 20 games on the con. I mean, come on.
Yeah, exactly. And the big
these,
one.
these aren't like huge files, you know. It's not like you can. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. And the big one for me is Final Fantasy VII, and there's already a PS4 port, which is the PC version, a little bit more beautiful, and there's trophy support too, and there's like God mode and stuff like that, which make the game a little bit faster to play. So there's no
Mhm.
reason for me to go back to the old version now, especially with the trophy support. So what do you think is are the legendary titles that they are talking about?
Legendary. I mean, when I think of PlayStation 1, I mean, the legendary titles that come to me are like Spyro and Crash.
Yeah,
But I've already said that they probably aren't going to be putting those on there. But I mean, you know, we might see I don't even know. Like I'm trying to think of like the like I don't even, I have to think on it. Like
Yep.
obviously we're gonna X out any Star Wars branded games.
Yep.
Obviously we're
Yep.
gonna X out Spyro and Crash. I'm not sure. I'll have to think on it.
Yep, I'm not sure either. Like the big franchise are there, like Final Fantasy, Tekken, Wild Arms, Jumping Flash. Not sure about Ridge Racer is like it's a racing game, but it's probably didn't age well. I'm not sure, man. There's a lot of good RPG like Xenogears and stuff like that. There will be probably a lot of RPGs in there. We'll see. We'll see. We'll probably talk more about this in the next upcoming weeks for sure, man.
Yeah, it's also weird that they didn't use the analog controller.
Yeah, that's
Uh,
weird, right?
so get ready to learn how to use the D-pad for everything again.
Yep, exactly. And yeah, the Resident Evil, the first one, but there's no reason to release that too. There's much more better version, so I'm not sure, man. All right, next
Certainly a question mark.
for sure, man. I'm excited to see the full lineup too.
Yeah, I am too.
Yep. Next news: Castlevania Symphony of the Night and Rondo of Blood is seemingly coming to PS4. Now, I don't think this is a full remastered version or even an updated version. There's like a rating board that the titles were spotted on. It's probably like a collection of the old games, probably released on PS4 with trophy support, but it's still exciting. Castlevania is probably one of the classic game that will come out on the PlayStation Classic, I think it's called, right?
Yeah, probably.
So, yep, amazing game, man. One of the best game ever for me, for sure.
Symphony of the Night. That's the one where you play as Dracula, right?
Yep.
Yeah, that was a great game. Growing up, I loved that game. The music, the design, everything about it, it was amazing.
And the inverted castle too when you finish the game.
Yeah,
That was insane, man. Well,
I really want to play this game again because when I was a kid, I don't really remember much of the game anymore. Like I remember being Dracula and I remember the big cathedrals and the music because I can listen to the soundtrack. I don't remember much about the game, and it's like I really want to play this one again. So I hope that this is true.
yep.
I do hope.
Yep, exactly. And like games like Final Fantasy VII didn't age well. Games like in 3D models, like even Wild Arms is not beautiful to look at now. But games like this, like Castlevania, Symphony of the Night, it's a 2D game, so the art is still beautiful. So yeah, this is the type of games that I want to see on the PlayStation Classic because it aged well, a little bit like the Super Nintendo games.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
So I'm excited for this one. Rondo of Blood, never played it though. Not sure about that. Not sure about that. All right, so there will be a couple of Japanese news. I'm sorry, Yemi. First of all, I know you're not a huge fan of JRPG, but there's a lot of exciting news. So Bandai Namco is planning Tales remakes, the Tales series and remasters based on fan requests. So the Tales series producer Hideo Baba is now working on his own game. He was the main producer for the Tales game, the Tales series, I mean. And the God Eater producer Yuzuke Tomizawa. That's my Japanese. That's the best I got, man.
It's good enough.
That's good enough.
Yeah.
Okay.
You sound just like a Japanese man.
Yeah, exactly, man. I speak three language now. I step in to manage the action role-playing franchise on console. So basically, Tales of Vesperia has been spotted, the definitive edition for PlayStation 4, and Tales of Xillia 1 and 2 is probably a safe bet too, since it was spotted online also. So the next step will be probably go to like the older games of the Tales series, like Tales of Legendia and Tales of the Abyss. Tales of Grace's F is probably one of the worst Tales games, so I'm not sure about this one. But yeah, I'm excited about this, man. I have all the Tales games, so I'm a huge fan, but I haven't played like the newest one. I just have them, but I never play them. Yeah, that's a problem I have, man.
Yeah, it's cool that they're going through with the fan requests instead of making ones that they want to first.
Yep, for sure. But is it true though? Is it
I mean,
really true?
that's the title of the article you sent me.
Yeah, I know, but like it's easy to say, but when the fans request something, Bandai Namco is not too bad though. And listening to fans, that's for sure. So yeah, Tales, man, lot of exciting news. There's a rumor too that Resonance of Fate, which was a PS3 JRPG game, really complex battles, and I haven't played a lot. I was not a huge fan of this game, but it probably come to PS4 if the rumors are true. So Sega is publishing the game still, and there's a lot of people actually liking this game. You probably never heard about this, right?
No, but the single picture that they have for it, these eyes are so derpy on here.
Yeah, man, that's weird. That's
Like the
true.
one's really small and the one's really big. It's weird.
Yeah, it's probably a
But
screenshot.
guns,
Yeah,
guns interest me.
that's for sure, man. So you might play you might like this one. Actually, it's a strategy game more. It's Japanese, but it's not like a turn-based traditional RPG. So you might want to check this one out, man.
Yeah, put it at the bottom of the list.
Bottom of the list, so you never buy it, right? Next news: Wolfenstein 3 is in development. This one's for you, man. Confirms Bethesda. So that's not a
Thank
huge
you.
surprise. You played the first two one, right?
Yeah, I played number one, 1.5, I call it, which is
Old
the
Blood.
old blood, and then two, I played all the way through two, and two wasn't as good as a lot of people thought it was. I thought it was kind of, I just thought it was. I really enjoyed the first one and a half better than this game, so I'm hoping that they do a little bit better with three. 'Cause I wasn't I was really excited for it. I was going up to I played it at PAX last year. I got a free smoothie. It's strawberry smoothie, and I have the glass that they give you, and it says Wolfenstein 2, the new Colossus on it, and it looks like it looks like the old 60s style like the game was, and I was so excited, and I started playing it. I'm like, I'm not really digging this one. So hopefully they can rise from the ashes for me at least.
So I think that the second one got better reviews. I think the people like the second one. I played the first one halfway through. It was a good game, but it was not like spectacular to me. I'm not a huge FPS fan though, so maybe that's why. It was more like the story was cool, but it's more shooting and shooting and shooting. Not a huge fan of that usually. Story was cool though, and the gameplay was solid as far as I know. But the second game seems more my kind of games. I think there's more story, right, in the second game?
It's a little bit more convoluted, though.
Oh yeah,
I don't
okay,
want to give anything away, but the story kind of goes everywhere really quickly. Uh,
okay.
but it's a good FPS. It's shoot everything's fine about it. I just wasn't digging it. It wasn't something that I wanted to play all the way through, but I did anyways.
Oh, so you finished the game?
Yeah.
Oh, you seem sad about it, man.
Well, I mean, it wasn't that. I mean, like I said, like everything happens so fast, and it's like you hit a beat, and then right away you hit another beat, and it's like it gets taxing after a while, and then by the end of it, you're like, okay, I'm ready for the huge twist, number 57 in the game.
And no twist. All right. Next one is Chocobo Mystery Dungeon. Everybody flaps. What a weird title, man. It's coming to PS4 this winter, so it's part of the old Final Fantasy Fables series franchise. Not a lot of details regarding this one, but there's two co-op play. So all right. So next one, once again, Final Fantasy news. Well, the Final Fantasy Maxima brings Whimsy back to PS4. So this one was on my list for a long time. Now that it's remastered, not remastered, but like the old package of World of Final Fantasy will be released. I'll just wait for this version for sure. There's a lot of DLC characters, and there's new characters from Final Fantasy Legion, which I'm really excited about. This game is really cute. You might actually like this one too, man. I'm trying to bring you into the Final Fantasy franchise and games, man.
You really are trying very, very, very hard.
Look at the characters, man. Really
Yeah, they kind of
cute.
look like Funko Pops.
Yep, it's called Chibli, I think, or maybe Chibli, Chibi, Chibi. Is that it?
Chibi.
Chibi.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because like Chibi Robo.
yeah. I remember this game too. It wasn't good though. It's on DS, right?
Oh, no, the original one on GameCube. That's the one I always loved.
Oh, there's a game on DS, but we can't talk about this, man.
No, we
It's a
gotta move on.
PlayStation podcast. Remember,
Yeah,
man.
yeah. Yeah, edit this out.
Next news: Capcom Beat 'em Up bundle brings Final Fight, Captain Commando, and more to PS4. So basically, this Beat 'em Up bundle, the compilation will include Final Fight, The King of Dragons, Captain Commando, Armored Warriors, Knights of the Round, Warriors of Fates, and Battle Circuit. So a lot of good classic games on there. You probably played Final Fight, of course.
Yeah. I remember that game. I don't remember the other ones though.
I remember Knights of the Round. It's all beat 'em up. It's pretty much all the same gameplay, honestly. It's just different settings. But it's cool that they released this as a part of the bundle. So you can like have them all. I'm not sure about the trophies though. Maybe like 6 platinum. Maybe the giant list of game.
Yeah, I'm thinking it's gonna be like a giant list. Unless they have like individual games inside the game, kind of like Mega Man or something like that.
So anyway, it will not be easy. So there's a lot of hardcore games in there. Especially, I think Final Fight was a pretty hard game. Yeah. Next news: Assassin's Creed 3 staged a remaster revolution on PS4. So we talk about Assassin's Creed 3.
Yeah,
Not a
it's like
huge fan.
like the worst one.
Yeah.
They're porting it over.
Exactly. But the good
Like
thing,
I love the story and how they changed the combat a little bit to be a little bit more brutal. But come on, like this one was not one that I enjoyed playing.
it's one of the worst Assassin's Creed game I played for sure. But the good thing about it is that if you buy the season pass of Assassin's Creed Odyssey, it will be included in that with Assassin's Creed 3 Liberation Remastered, which was a port of the PS Vita spin-off, which wasn't good too. That's not a good game either, man.
I thought Liberation was okay.
Yeah.
I played it on the PlayStation 4. It might have been upgraded, so I don't know about the Vita version, but I played it on the PlayStation 4.
I think the Vita version had a lot of like rendering problems and stuff like that. Maybe they fixed it in the remaster, probably. Yeah. So two games, two remastered game for included in the season pass. So that's not too bad actually.
Yeah, it's
But
not bad. I'll probably buy it anyways. I'm that way with things.
even the season pass,
No, maybe not the season pass, but I'll definitely probably buy Assassin's Creed 3 just to relive it.
relieve the,
That's
the,
just
the
that's just
nightmare.
that's just how I am. I'm with a series in the ups and downs, and Assassin's Creed is one of those ones where it's like it went down and it stayed down for a while. But if it's really a remaster and it's not just an HD thing, um, you know, I'll look into it and I'll probably buy it anyways.
Yeah, it's not a bad game. It's not a terrible game. It's just not the
It was the
best.
start of the decline of Assassin's Creed, though. Like the free running was worse, the story was a little bit worse, especially in the future. And Assassin's Creed didn't really start coming up again until Syndicate, for me personally.
Yeah, I stopped after this one. So I'm in. We talked about this, but I'm at Black Flag right now. So
Hmm. Yeah, Black Flag is a nice pirate adventure, but the story still sucks.
yeah, the story always sucks, man.
Always. Assassin's Creed 2 and Brotherhood.
Yeah, exactly, man. Next news: Timespinner.
I'm Spinner.
Yeah, man. This one looks really good. Like, it's coming out on PS4 and PS Vita, of course, September 25th. So it's a pixel art game. You can control time too. You can like stop time to freeze enemies in the air and use the enemy to jump on like higher platforms and stuff like that. There's a lot of equipments and leveling up, and you have skills too. Reminds me a little bit of Shovel Knight, but with more a cooler pixel art, I would say, and the story seems quite large and involved too. So I'm excited about this one, man.
Yeah, it looks really cool. I like the art style, and it looks like a real nice old school type game, 2D platformer.
Yep, I remind me a little bit of Castlevania Symphony of the Night, actually. Like
That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
yep, especially the background and you're inside the castle, it seems. So yep, it seems really cool. And 99.99, that's a perfect price point for this type of game. Take notes, developers. Take notes.
Yeah. Yeah. Really.
And at the same date, September 25th, will be Hollow Knight Voidheart Edition. This is the complete edition of Hollow Knight. It will come with 4 DLC, like the original game with 4 DLCs. And the DLCs are quite big in this game. I saw a couple of YouTubers play this game, especially on live streams. It seems like a Metroidvania game. A lot of good reviews out there. Everybody loves this game, man.
I have it, but I haven't played it yet. For the computer, I have it. So I've been kind of sitting on it for a little bit, but I really like, just like with the last game, I love the art style. I mean, it's supposed to be like a hardcore type platformer kind of game. I hate to say it, but Dark Souls like.
Yeah.
So it looks like a really fun and awesome game, and I can't wait to jump into it. I'm ready, but I just haven't had the time yet.
If you like a good game, if you want a good 2D game, well, Dark Souls like, try Salt and Sanctuary, man. That's the as close as you'll get to a 2D Dark Souls games.
All right. I'll write it. Here I am typing it right now. Okay.
That seems so fake, man.
I'll go back through the podcast and remember.
Okay.
Oh yeah, you can go look that up.
Okay, the next one is for you, man. I cannot talk about this one.
Next one is Treyarch. They announced changes to the Blackout mode in Call of Duty Black Ops 4 after the beta was released on PlayStation. I believe it's maybe I think last week was the Xbox One, 2 weeks ago was PlayStation. And pretty much what Blackout is, it's Call of Duty Fortnite. I've been making the joke,
Yeah.
Black Ops Fortnite. So the funny thing about this is I didn't actually get to play it myself personally. Every time I would try and get into a match, the game would freeze, and the PlayStation would troubleshoot it or try to troubleshoot it, and then it would eventually give up and freeze again on my PlayStation home screen, and then I would have to unplug my PlayStation and plug it back in. And after the second time, I was like, okay, we're deleting this app.
Yeah, that sucks, man.
But I did watch one of my good friends on Twitch. His name is Canes. I did watch him play it, and he was saying a lot of the things that they changed in here were bad. So the armor, they tweaked the armor. He said it was way too overpowered. Well, they've tweaked it. It drops less now, and it's not as powerful. A lot of the sounds and stuff like that were improperly mixed. So things like stepping on floors and stuff like that would be super loud, or teammates' footsteps weren't as loud as enemy footsteps, even with the perks that make them better. So stuff like that was supposedly improved. We won't find out until the game comes out, of course. They've made up pickup speed for guns a little bit faster, but a lot of people have been asking for picking up guns automatically off the ground, which would kind of defeat the purpose of this sort of game mode. Yeah. I mean, it's really more about item management and figuring out which gun you want, and not just auto picking up everything and getting on your way. So I think that they're not going to include that, even though they said they are going to try and test it in their own studio. I don't think they're going to keep it on, though. And if they do, it's probably going to be an option. And then they've apparently improved inviting friends to your party, which obviously wasn't working for me, and the game wasn't working at all. So we'll see. From what I saw of the Blackout mode, I mean, it's pretty much just Fortnite, and it looks like it has a nicer map to it. There are areas that actually have zombies, and the zombies drop super rare weapons. But of course, it's going to reveal your location on the map, and it's you could get surrounded by zombies. But there's 2 different locations that zombies pop up. Nuketown is on the map. So all those fanboys of Nuketown, you got your wish. Nuketown's there. And really, all in all, I think it's just gonna be, it's just gonna be like it's there. Hopefully it'll work when it finally comes out for me. I am still planning on getting the game because I thought the multiplayer was fun. But for the Blackout mode, it might be one of those things where I play it like one or two times and then leave it.
So the Blackout mode was the one that was freezing your PlayStation, right?
Yeah, so the last beta that came out, it was after the multiplayer beta. It was a week or 2 weeks after the multiplayer beta. It was just a beta for Blackout mode. So you would load the game and you could only choose Blackout mode.
Okay. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. So, okay, they blocked the other modes and... Okay, so they're trying to stress the servers and stuff like that.
Yep.
All right.
And hey, 7.5 million zombies were killed during the Blackout beta.
Of course. I'm not even surprised, man. That's a big game for sure. The next segment is yours. It's called the Ferret Drop, where we talk about all the new releases on PlayStation. So there you go, man.
Alrighty, today for the Ferret Drop. First up, we have Anodyne. I think that's how you say it. And Anodyne is a 16-bit puzzle solver, and you go through it and you defeat enemies with a broom.
Oh, remind me a little bit of Moonlighter, actually. You start with a broom.
Yeah. It has a nice soundtrack to it. You explore a world full of natural, urban, and abstract environments, and it's all inspired by classic 16-bit games. It's challenging, it has fun dungeons that await you.
Okay.
I think it looks kind of cool. It's definitely a game that is probably going to take you a little bit while to master, but once you get to it, boom, you're golden.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure there's RPG elements. I don't think you use a broom the entire game, but we will see.
Who knows?
Next up, and this game is probably a game I'm going to pick up soon. It's a PSVR exclusive, and it's called Blind. It's a narrative-driven psychological thriller where the player is blind, and you must use echolocation to explore your surroundings, kind of like Daredevil.
There you go, man. This is what I want to see on the PSVR. That's really special, actually. Not sure if it's good or not, but the idea is cool, man.
Yeah, it's definitely something different that we haven't seen in the VR setting. I know there was another game, but I don't think it was VR. I forget what it was called, but you played as a blind woman. This game seems to be a little bit more immersive, a little bit more horror orientated.
Yeah.
So it's definitely gonna be one that I want to pick up. And I'll definitely check it out.
Yep, for sure. Cool art too. Cool art.
Next up is Scribblenauts Mega Pack. This is 2 games in one with all the DLC with it. You use the power of your imagination to solve puzzles in endless ways, and this includes the Scribblenauts Unlimited and DC Comics adventure games. So it's 2 in 1. Scribblenauts has always been a game that's like, I really, really want to play it, but when I start playing it, I go, well, I'm not really having a lot of fun. But I can see where people can have a lot of fun because there's like endless ways to do things. You can even type in the name Hitler and it will pop up a little Hitler dude in there.
Are you serious?
I don't know if they've taken that out, but I remember playing like the first one originally on the DS, and then you could do that.
That's fucked up, man.
A little bit. I've never played the DC one, but I did play Unlimited, and it was about the same. All the Scribblenauts games are about the same. You pretty much just type out random words, and then they appear on the screen, and you use them to help you get through the level.
Cool.
So yeah, that's Scribblenauts.
Cool.
Next up is another game that I'm pretty interested in. It's called Speed Brawl. Is it Speed Brawler? No, just Speed Brawl.
Yeah, it's Speed Brawl, yeah.
It's a 2D combat racer, and it's all about moving fast and hitting hard. Maintain your speed and build up combos and unleash special moves. There's 6 unique brawlers to choose from with upgrades. It's got shell-shaded graphics, 50 events, and races with local and online co-op. Yeah, so I think this is going to be a really cool game. I think so.
Yep, this game seems really cool, man. Really fast and fluid. I'm excited for this one too.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna buy it this weekend. I've been watching a lot of videos on it. I think it looks really cool.
Yep, for sure, man.
Next up is Transference, and this is another PSVR game. You pretty much just have to escape a room, and it's set in a deranged mind, and you experience it in a first-person It's exploration type. And it's in a new dimension. You can shift between 3 perspectives, and you can attempt to unravel the mystery in this mind-bending psychological thriller. So two PSVR horror games coming out, or thrillers coming out this week. So people of the horror game, if you like horror games, I mean, this is a good week for you.
And the PSVR is still supported too. This is what I like, man.
Yeah, they're still putting out games for it every week. It seems I'm always giving one out at least. But yeah, I'm excited. This game, like, there's a game called The Lost Soul on the VR system, which just has so many bugs to it. And I was really hoping that they would fix the bugs, but they really haven't. But these games coming out now, they seem to be polished. I've watched video people playing them. They seem to work fine. And this game was one of those games that had a really cool concept that I was interested in. Might wait on it, though, for like a sale or something like that.
All right. Are you done?
And then...
you're not done.
More. I added one more to the list without you knowing.
Okay. I have one too, so that's good.
Oh, there we go. It's a free-to-play game. It's called Warface. And I codename it Warbutt because it looks like your generic first-person free-to-play game. Tons of microtransactions, including coins to purchase upgrades. And it's been around for a while now. It was actually released on the PS Vita as a free-to-play. So I don't know why they decided to bring it to PlayStation 4. I do have it downloaded on my PlayStation right now, and I'm going to try it out just to see what it's like. But codename Warbutt, and that's all I will say.
Okay. The one I had on my list, I received a free key actually for like 1 hour ago. That's why I didn't tell you. It's for the Gardens Between. So you will see probably the first impressions next week on the channel. But it seems like a puzzle adventure with really unique art style. Story driven. I don't know much about the game. I just saw the trailer, but it looks really cool. I'm excited to play it for sure, man.
It kind of looks like that Broken Age game.
Yeah, a little bit of yeah. I played that. I didn't like it though.
Oh, well, I hope it's better than Broken Age then.
Yeah. I bought Broken Age because it was getting like 9s and 10s all over the internet. I bought it. And I was so disappointed, man. I usually like Team Schafer games, but this one wasn't good, man.
I think it was like more of like a trophy horror game. You know, if you really wanted those trophies, you could buy this one and stack it, I think.
Yeah, but it's not an easy platinum, man.
Oh.
You have to speedrun the game in 1 hour, which is really tight, actually. Really, really, really tight. You have to follow a guide, and you can't make too many mistakes, otherwise you'll get past the 1 hour mark. So not an easy platinum. I was super frustrated with it too. Even the trophies were bad, man.
Oh, okay.
I didn't like it, man.
Yeah.
Stop
I haven't played it yet
about that.
Myself. Yeah, okay. We'll move on.
Topic of the show. Is that it? It is it.
That is it.
It's favorite game series that are dead. So we pick 5 each. I'll let you begin. There's no rules. I don't think so. We have some games that are not like PlayStation exclusive too. So it's not like PlayStation game series. It's more like series that appears on PlayStation. So first game, Yemi.
The first game, I decided to start with... Yeah, first series, sorry. Is the Dead Island series for me. I know a lot of people don't like the Dead Island games, but I was a pretty big fan of the first one in Riptide. I thought they were decent games, and when the remasters came out, I was like, oh, great. That means that Dead Island 2 is right around the corner. Well...
Yep, but
every year they say it's still in development, quote-unquote. But haven't seen any gameplay since 2015, and we haven't heard anything more about the game since 2014. So, there's that. But Dead Island 1 was released on September 6, 2011. It had mediocre reviews. Developer is Techland for all of the Dead Island games. There was also a game called Escape. Oh, I'm sorry, I missed one. Dead
Yeah.
Island Riptide also came out about 2 years later, April 23rd, and I love that one. That's the one that I really enjoyed playing, and what got me into the series. Escape Dead Island was a third-person spin-off, and Fat Shark took over the development for this one. It was released on November 18th. Wasn't really that great of a game. It kind of reminded me of that. There's another game where you fight zombies and you're on an island. It's like 1,001 Ways to Survive the Zombie Apocalypse or something. It's a really long title, I think.
Okay.
But it reminded me of that a lot. There was also a game called Dead Island Epidemic, which was slated for a 2014 release. It got canceled. It was an online multiplayer battle arena spin-off. Try saying that 5 times fast.
Nope.
It was going to be made by Stunlock Studios. It was shut down September 2015. And as I already said, the Dead Island Definitive Edition, which had Dead Island 1 and Riptide on it, that was released May 31st, 2016. It was a remaster. They did a good job with it. Really, like, everything was improved about the games, except for the voice acting, of course. I don't think there's much you can do about that.
No. Yeah.
But, yeah. Dead Island 2, like I said before, to be announced still, was announced in 2014. GameStop was accepting pre-orders, and it's been 4 years, and we've really had nothing else about it. And I think most people canceled their pre-orders.
Yeah, of course. And it's not like officially dead, but I think it's dead, right?
I would say so.
The issue, I think, was that the original trailer for the Dead Island game, the announcement trailer, was so fucking good, man, that people were expecting like a AAA games, and when they released the game, it was buggy. It took a long time to patch to. The idea behind the game was really good, actually, but the trailer was. You remember the trailer?
It set the bar way too high.
Yeah, man.
Like, it was like fully rendered graphics. It looked really awesome, and then when you actually got to the game, it was like one of the first scenes in Dead Island 1 is you walk out to the balcony and it's either, I think it's a zombie just falls in front of you, and it still looks pretty bad in the remastered version, but that's what you expect from this game. But like I said, the remastered version pretty much, I mean, it was really good. Like, I really enjoyed the remasters of the games. So if you have a question mark about Dead Island, look at the original games. Sorry, my dog is
I can hear that, dude.
playing with a toy right now. But the definitive editions, they're cheap and they're made really well. So I would definitely suggest picking those up if you want a zombie survival game.
All right. So my pick for the first series is Suikoden. It's a classic RPG series, of course. You know how much I love RPGs. It was on the original release on 95 on PlayStation 1. Suikoden 2 was 98. 3 was 2002. 4 was 2004. 5 was 2006. And after that, they just spin-off games after games on the DS. And there was one on PlayStation 2 was Suikoden Tactic, which was not the same at all. It was more a strategy game, so I don't count that as the main original series. But people love Suikoden, man. I don't understand why this series is dead. The last release is 2012, but it's Japanese only, and it was on PSP, which is weird. So it's a traditional RPG, a lot of characters. I think like the games have like over 100 playable characters, at least in the third one. The second one is considered the best. So it's a series that I would love to see remastered. Maybe remastered, but even like the problem with those games is that remastering the games, like the mechanics are still old. So it's not good to remaster the game. You have to, a little bit like Dragon Quest maybe, or something, a series that's still going on. They need to maybe do Suikoden 6. I don't know. But it's a series I would love to see remastered for sure.
Yeah, I think doing a remaster of older games is better than doing like a remake. Actually, I'm sorry. Let's switch that around. I think doing a remake of older series is better than doing a remaster, because a remake is from the ground up. We're redoing it, whereas a remaster is just like put a new coat of paint on it and keep the controls the same. So I think it would be better with a remake.
Yeah, of course. Remake is always better, but it's more expensive too.
Well,
So
yeah.
yeah, but old RPGs still are still old, even remastered. So I'm not sure about this one, man. Not sure if there's even a market for those types of games outside Japan. So it's a hard one, but I love this series, man.
It would definitely be a gamble if they decide to bring it back and to the US.
Yep, for sure. Maybe a Zelda style. The turn-based RPG like that are pretty much dead, so they will need to do something more, a little bit like Final Fantasy 15 or Kingdom Hearts, like more action-oriented or something like that. Maybe that would work. Even open world, I don't know, but I love this series, man. Next up.
Speaking of series that I love, that we love, I think next up is the Guitar Hero series for me.
Yeah,
Guitar Hero was one of those games that I just loved. You know, it's like you get to be a rock star, you know, and you don't have to form a band. And I think the biggest problem with Guitar Hero was they put out way too many games in a short amount of time, and I'm going to go through this giant list that they have. I've excluded the spin-offs like DJ Hero and stuff like that. So I just have the main games in the series. But Guitar Hero started in November of 2005. Harmonix developed the first 3 official games in the series. Um, and then Harmonix split from them after they did Rock the 80s, and they went to Rock Band. But Harmonix did Guitar Hero 1, Guitar Hero 2, which was released in November 2006, which was like a year later. But the game was a lot better. Guitar Hero 2 was a lot better. You could tell that they put a lot more work into the design and the make of the game. And Guitar Hero 2 was actually the first one that I played at Walmart, of all places. So what Harmonix did was they were like, okay, let's make a Rock the 80s, which was just kind of like you would call it an expansion pack now, but it was literally just another game that had, X amount of songs on it. It was released in July of 2007, so not even a year-long development cycle on that one, which is not a good idea. But nevertheless, Guitar Hero rocked on, and Neversoft took over the series with Guitar Hero 3, and they released in October of 2007. So once again, you don't have too many months between those two games.
yep.
And the average consumer, I mean, you're spending $60 for half a game for Rock the 80s. Well, here we go. Guitar Hero 3 comes out.
That was a good one too. That was a good one.
But yeah, Guitar Hero 3 was the peak of the Rock Band games. Lots of people love that one. Me especially, I really enjoyed that one. Good soundtrack. Not like some of the Rock Bands and Guitar Heroes. They have the songs are done by a cover band, and this one featured a lot of original songs. It wasn't a cover band on all of them. And shortly after Guitar Hero 3 was released, almost a half a year later, Guitar Hero Aerosmith came out, which featured the band Aerosmith, and that was in 2008 as well. And that game was like a half step forward.
Yeah, and you have to love or to like at least Aerosmith to buy the game. So
Right, and it was weird because there was a lot of other songs that were on it that were good, but the game suffered from just being on the old engine. And then not even a year later, we get Guitar Hero World Tour, or AKA Guitar Hero 4. And that was released in October of 2008.
that one sucked.
I didn't think it sucked. I just thought that they tried to take that Rock Band formula and throw it into this game, and it just didn't work. I mean, the graphics were horrible. The character designs are terrible.
The playlist was horrible too.
I thought it was all right.
It sucked.
This was the first game that I heard I heard Korn on with Freak on Elite, and I laughed during the section where he does his little thing. But I thought it was an all right set list. I really enjoyed the harder songs on this game. But hey, we're moving on to Guitar Hero Metallica, which was another half step up. That was released in April of 2009. That one I don't like Metallica, so I didn't pick that one up right away, but I did pick it up eventually. I felt like they charted the songs very easily. The hardest song on the game was 1, but I had already mastered that one on Guitar Hero 3, so not too bad. And then, oh, check this out. From April to June, we got Guitar Hero Smash Hits, which was just a literal remaster of songs from the first four games. Uh, and they released that in June of 2009. And then, God, not even 2 months later, we have Guitar Hero 5 coming out September 1st of 2009. And that one, they updated the graphics on. And they did a lot better with how the game looked, but the controllers got worse. And then, not even 2 months later, Band Hero gets released November 3rd, which is a pop version of Guitar Hero. And then, not even a month later, Guitar Hero Van Halen comes out December 22nd, 2009. So that's 3 games in about 6 months.
That sucks.
And they expected the series to live on.
Yeah. So you have the reason why the series died right there.
Yeah, that is literally it right there. And finally, they tried to revive the series with Warriors of Rock, which was released in September of 2010. I really enjoyed Warriors of Rock, but it just didn't sell. No one bought this game. And then fast forward to 2015, they tried to revive the plastic guitar scene with Guitar Hero Live, which released October 20th of 2015. I thought that I really enjoyed it. I thought it was better than Rock Band 4 when it came out on an initial release. Unfortunately, the live mode, which is where there are over like 200 some songs, is ending the end of December, December 22nd this year. So play the songs while you can before the game turns into a bargain bin game.
Yeah. And
yeah, that's Guitar Hero. I love Guitar Hero. I love the Plastic Instruments games. I still play Rock Band 4, even though I think it's subpar to the other Guitar Hero and Rock Band games. At least something. And they still update it every so often.
Yeah, man. I love Guitar Hero 3. It's all about the playlist, honestly, for me. So it doesn't matter. Like the graphics didn't matter. It was like the gameplay was perfect. The guitar was a great ID. The playlist was good on the third one, and after that, I don't know what they could do to revive the series. This is my main point. Maybe an import, like play what you want.
Well, I think that's kind of like what Guitar Hero Live does right now. But I thought like Guitar Hero Warriors of Rock was a step in the right direction. Like the story mode actually had something to it. It had character to it. Each character had its own power up, and you would play as them, and you would master their moves. And then at the end, it was a whole big compilation of you played like the 2 Megadeth songs, which are the hardest songs that I've ever played in my life for a Guitar Hero game. And you use all their powers at once, and it's such a great game. It had a great soundtrack. Unfortunately, like I said, it just didn't sell because, you know, who wants a plastic guitar instrument in 2010? You know, it died very fast, and they were their own worst enemy in this case.
Yep, for sure, man. Next step for me is Dino Crisis. Not sure if we talked about this one before the podcast. The first one was released in '99 on PlayStation 1. The second one on 2000. In 2000 on PlayStation 1 too, and on PC, I think, if I remember correctly. The third one, it's more a spin-off. It's Dino Stalker in 2002. It was released on PS2, and the third one was released exclusively for Xbox, which is a weird turn of events right there. This is I would call it maybe like Resident Evil, but with dinosaur. Is that correct?
I would say that, especially for the first game. The first game was like that. The second game, which is my favorite, they kind of changed it up. But the first game, definitely, I would say Resident Evil style.
Maybe a little bit more. It's survival horror for sure. It's maybe a little bit more action adventure oriented, more than Resident Evil. But still, I think this game could be revived. The series could be revived into something else, like a third person on PS4. And there's talk too regarding the future. There's a lot of rumors, especially in 2014, that the development was going on for Dino Crisis 4 for the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. but never heard about this. So again, after that, so probably the series dead, probably, but I would love to see another one, and this one's quite possible to be a huge success too, especially with dinosaur. There's not a lot of game featuring dinosaurs actually,
That's true. That's very true.
so maybe there's a niche there.
Yeah, I'd like to see a remaster of 1 and 2, and maybe the spin-off. 3 I never played though, so I don't have a comment on that one.
No, me neither. But the first and the second one was beautiful, man. Beautiful games. You can go ahead, man.
All right. So my my third one that I picked out was one that started off really, really good, like pow, right in the face. And then it quickly just took a nosedive, and that's the Force Unleashed series. I had 2 games in the series, Force Unleashed 1, codenamed FU1.
Yeah, that's a weird
was,
code name right there.
was released September 16th, 2008 by LucasArts, of course. I really liked the first Force Unleashed. I thought it was a great spin-off of the Star Wars universe, especially at the end when you're freaking fighting Darth Vader and Emperor Palpatine if you want to.
Mm-hmm.
There's a nice little bit of a choice in there, but I thought just it was a really cool game. You got to upgrade your force powers and kind of play the way you want. And the DLC was brutal. Like you killed Han Solo, you killed Chewbacca, you killed Luke Skywalker. It was brutal. I couldn't play it more than once. I didn't like that. It was so brutal. And then of course later the year Modern Warfare 2 comes out with the freaking no Russian level. So it's like, oh, we were continuously raising the bar on this stuff. um
Okay, go ahead. Yeah.
And then Force Unleashed 2 was released almost 2 years later, October 26, 2012, 2010. Jeez, I can't talk today.
I'm tired too,
Um,
man. I'm really tired.
but
The live stream yesterday was.
took a lot out of you.
Yep. Super Mario RPG too. But we can talk about this, but that was a great live stream, man.
But Force Unleashed 2 was like, it was everything I didn't want in a Force Unleashed game. I mean, it took everything that Force Unleashed 1 set up and it just threw it all away. I mean, you literally played as a clone, and at the end of the game, spoiler alert, you find out there's a whole factory of clones, and it's like, what the hell am I playing here? It was just a bad game in general, and it didn't go anywhere. Commercially, it was poor. And so when Disney bought LucasArts and Lucasfilms in 2013, they canceled Force Unleashed 3, and it was supposed to be like an open world adventure game where you would actually team up with Darth Vader, which sounds kind of cool, to be honest with you, but unfortunately it was canceled. It was canned.
Okay. So yep. So the Disney shut down LucasArts, and that was it. That was it, man, for the
Yeah,
series.
that was it. A bunch of games got axed.
Yep.
There was the other game where you played as, I think you played as Jango Fett or something like that that they canceled too, that everyone was really looking forward to. I think it was called like Star Wars 1337 or something like that. I'm not sure.
Okay. Okay. So next step for me is next series is Shadow Arts. Probably a more obscure series. This is one of the most underrated RPG on the PlayStation 2 for sure. At least for me, this is a really, really the first game was, and even the second game was really, really dark, mature theme. And the twist about those games is that instead of just selecting the attack button, it was a clock, so you had to like stop the, how you call that in the clock, like the thing that turning.
Stop the gears.
The gears, exactly. This is what I'm searching for. So you stop the gears, and if you stop at the right direction in the right place, you have a critical hit and stuff like that, and you can like equip certain things that makes like the pie a little bit bigger. So that was the twist of the Shadow Arts games. A lot of story, a lot of emotional moment, especially in the first game. Second game was the high point for me. The game was really better than the first one. The characters were memorable too. This is really Japanese though, of course. The third game was really a step in the wrong direction for me, so maybe that's why the sales didn't go as planned. It was published by Exceed Games, which is a small publisher too. Still a small publisher. So yep, that and the clock is called Judgment Ring in the game, and that's a series I would love to see. Once again, it's the same thing as Suikoden. Not sure what they could do with the series, since the turn-based RPG are pretty much dead at this point. There's a couple games that are turn-based, but it's really rare from now on. So yeah, Shadow Hearts, man.
I'm gonna save my most controversial one for the end, but the next one I had up in line is Half-Life, the
Yeah.
Half-Life series. And I know this isn't a PlayStation one, but it's one that probably left the biggest impact in the gaming world to this day, and it is still kind of a myth to this day whether Half-Life 3 will come out or not. But Half-Life 1 was released in November of 1998. Pretty good game. I mean, I can't complain about it. Half-Life 2 came out November 16th, 2004. Improved upon everything that Half-Life 1 had wrong with it. Much better story to it.
Such a
They
long
originally
time between the two games too, man.
I know. That's why everyone's thinking, Half-Life 3 still coming out. I mean, look at that giant gap. It's
That-
like, well,
yeah.
this one's a little bit more.
Yeah, for sure, man.
But originally they were going to have 3 extra episodes come out for Half-Life 2. So episode 1 came out June 1st, 2006. Episode 2 came out October 10th, 2007. Ended on a huge cliffhanger. And then they canceled episode 3. And now Half-Life 3 has kind of been swimming in limbo. Originally, the maker of Half-Life was saying that, oh yeah, we're working on Half-Life 3. We're working on Half-Life 3. It's going to come out in, late 2007, whatever he said. And gradually you can see him through interviews and through speaking publicly. He's kind of taken Half-Life 3 out of his vocabulary. He doesn't want to even mention Half-Life 3. So there's a really good video on YouTube that you can kind of watch about that. But you can definitely see him go from he's really gung-ho about making Half-Life 3 to he won't even mention it. He won't even talk about it. It's literally just a meme now. And that's probably all it will ever be now, unfortunately.
Yep. I would love to know the story behind this game, man. I'm pretty sure it was in development at some point. That's probably an interesting story. It's Valve, right?
Yeah, it's Valve, and yep, they don't seem to know how to count the 3. There's no Left 4 Dead 3, there's no Portal 3, and there's no Half-Life 3.
And they are behind Steam too, right?
Yes, they are behind Steam.
You know what it's gonna happen? Like one day you'll wake up and it will be there, man, and the internet will explode. I think that's the plan.
Everyone's heads just implode.
Yeah. All right, that's a good one, man. The next one for me is Parasite Eve, which is not a RPG. I don't. Yeah, it's probably a RPG once again. So Parasite Eve, the first one was released in '98. It was a little bit like Resident Evil, but with more RPG elements. It was an horror game for sure, a short game too, around like 6 to 10 hours. Received well too. They got the green label, greatest hits. You remember that on the PS1? The ugly green label. I think every games that sold over 1 million had that, a re-release of the game.
Yeah.
The second one was good, I think, if I remember correctly. But the first one was really the high point, at least for me, with Aya. And after that, they tried to bring it to the PSP with the third birthday. Never played it too. I think I have it too. Never played it. Got mixed reviews, and after that the series just died, man. Just like that in 2010. So it's been almost 8 years now. Yeah, and that's it for Parasite Eve.
All right. So like I said, this one's this last one for me is a little
we had a little fight, man. Our first fight.
But I had to put in the Mass Effect series, and I know it's been about a year since the last game came out, but I have overwhelming evidence that this game series is dead and will probably not return for a very, very long time if it ever does. But And it's not like I love Mass Effect. I love Mass Effect 1, 2, and 3. They're all equally loved in my eyes. Each of them have their own flaws, each of them have their own high points, but all in all, I love the original trilogy. And Mass Effect Andromeda came along and just shit on everything that they had built.
Yeah, man.
So Mass Effect 1 and 2 were specifically made by BioWare and then published by EA. But when Mass Effect 3 came around, EA took over and absorbed BioWare. So that's why you got this weird loot crate system in there, more emphasis on multiplayer, because originally it wasn't supposed to have any type of multiplayer, any type of co-op. Even though I enjoyed the co-op in it, it wasn't supposed to be there. And you can see where parts of the story struggled because they put more effort towards the multiplayer.
Yeah, for sure.
And now Mass Effect Andromeda came out last year in 2017, and you can definitely see that it was rushed. It was put out before it was supposed to be. Tons of glitches. Voice acting was terrible. It got such low scores on Metacritic. I thought that the game was just a shell of everything that it could have been. You have a new galaxy to explore, you have new options, but they got just the worst voice actors, and all the different lands you can explore, they're all just plain, they're just full of nothing.
Yeah, and there was no need to rush the game too.
Yeah, there's no need to do that. I mean, I'm sure fans were like, "Oh, I really want to play that right now," but it's like, would you rather play a finished game that you don't need to wait 3 hours to update the day one, or do you want, a game that you play and you go, "Wow, there's a lot wrong with this."
Yeah, exactly. And there's a 5 years gap between the third one and the last one. The game was in poor shape. I remember all the memes too from
Lots of them.
Andromeda. It was really cool, like the character with no face and stuff like that. It was buggy, man. It's a cash grab once again.
Yeah, it was probably a cash grab, or it was, BioWare was trying to make a game that they really wanted to make, but then EA stepped in. EA, I hate that company.
Yeah, man.
But let me tell you what. Let me read to you the reason why I believe that the series is dead, and it goes like this. EA has said that Mass Effect Andromeda was not designed to be to have future installments. BioWare's original intention, aka EA's original intention was to continue adding to the series. However, following the game's disappointing commercial and critical reception, reports arose that BioWare would be taking a break from the franchise to focus on Anthem, and that BioWare Montreal, Canada, would focus on other games under EA's umbrella, such as Star Wars Battlefront 2, which flopped. And in August 2017, BioWare Montreal, Canada, was merged with EA's Motive Studios. So since they've actually merged with another studio, I doubt that Mass Effect is ever going to be revived again. And the former series creator, Casey Hudson, R.I.P., he's not dead. The company just fired him, who departed from BioWare in 2014, said he wants to return to Mass Effect, but EA won't let him.
Okay.
So there you go.
So we're not sure for sure that that the Mass Effect series is dead. There's a lot of evidence actually.
Yeah, there's a lot piling against it, and unfortunately, like I said, it's one of my favorite series of all time, and to go out on a note like this, it hurts.
You want to hear another controversial one?
Yeah, go lay it on me.
Okay. Breath of Fire. I'll merge two on my last one because it's my podcast and I can do whatever I want.
Sure.
Breath of Fire series. So the first one was released on Super Nintendo, of course. The second one, too, on Super Nintendo, 93 and 94, back to back. After that, the Breath of Fire 3 was released on PlayStation, and this is probably one of the best of the series, at least for me. It's not originally a PlayStation series, but after the third one, pretty much all the releases, well, the three next one are on PlayStation. Breath of Fire 4 2000 on PlayStation 2. 3 and 4 were pretty classic turn-based RPG. After that, they fuck it up, man. They just go again in another direction with Breath of Fire Dragon Quarter, which was more an action game. They tried something on PS2, probably to like test the water with the 3D models and stuff like that. And that's the end of Breath of Fire. But there's Breath of Fire 6. Not sure where's the 5 though. I think it's Breath of Fire Dragon Quarter, but it's not part of the original series. Yes, it's number 6, but it's a free-to-play mobile game, so it doesn't count.
Yeah, I wouldn't count that either. Just like with Roller Coaster Tycoon 4. It's like, I don't count that as the series, even though there's a 5.
Yeah, exactly.
It was mobile. It was a cash grab.
And it's 14 years later, so it was released on 2016. So yeah, this is a cash grab once again. Only released in Japan too, so it doesn't count. And this series is officially dead once again, man. I think turn-based RPG are just like a product of their time, honestly. And the next one is Wild Arms, another game series that I love and played to death. The first one, there's Wild Arms 2, Wild Arms 3, Wild Arms 4, Wild Arms 5. The first two ones are on PS1. 3, 4, and 5 are on PS2, and Wild Arms XF, the last one, is on PSP. The last one is more a tactical role-playing game, so it's not a turn-based like the other one, but pretty classic stuff that are dead now. Yeah, that's pretty much it, man. I love turn-based RPG. I was nostalgic when I wrote the list. I was like, man, so many good game series, and it's just dead, man. Just dead.
Hey, like with everything has a second wind. And with Persona 5 doing as good as it did, I think you might see turn-based RPGs coming back a little bit.
Yeah, of course. And the talking about Persona, the first two games were like dungeon crawler games, really different from Persona 3, 4, and 5. So there's always like, use the name, don't go too far from the roots, but try something different. The names are well known too, at least in the PlayStation family. So use them and try something, man. You have such good game series that, man. You know what I mean? Yemi?
What?
Like, they have so good names. Like, PlayStation have so much good game series. They could try to revive some of them at least.
They could. That's true.
Next segment, dude. Are you ready?
I am ready.
Trophies. So the first one is Mark of the Ninja Remastered. Mark of the Ninja was...
we cut that one out.
You cut that one out?
Remember? We talked about that at the beginning.
We won't talk about that, man. Okay. Scribblenauts. Yeah. Let's go with this one.
Yeah.
Mark of the Ninja is like... it was released on Xbox originally. Pretty cool game, but trophy list is nothing out of the ordinary. So I think there's a lot of missable and stuff like that. So... Scribblenauts, you might want to talk about this one?
Yeah.
I'm not too familiar with the series.
Well, as we've kind of already said, it's like a puzzle series. This game has 2 trophy lists in one. So for both games, you have a list of trophies to do. They're not like split up, so you can't really tell which one's which, but some of them are pretty obvious. And the trophy list doesn't look too difficult, but no one has gotten the platinum yet. So I think there might be something here or there that might be a little bit more difficult that you might need a guide for. But for the most part, I think it's your basic trophy list. Go through the game, spawn this specific character. You kind of have to know the DC characters to spawn. Because you need to know the specific name of the alternate version of X, Y, and Z. So you would need to know a little bit more about the DC universe. But I'm sure there's going to be a guide coming out, in the future that's going to list it all for you. So, but like I said, the Scribblenauts games are fun. They're just not like I can't stick with them for too long.
Yeah, of course. And with the guide, I'm pretty sure it's super easy. But the big one is Spyro, which appeared like this morning, Wednesday, time of recording. Pretty happy with the trophy list, honestly. There's a couple of miscellaneous one, but it seems like similar to the Crash series, I would say. A lot
I
of
would say
story.
more like Jack and Daxter because you have like
Yeah,
specific things you need to do. Like, in Jack and Daxter, you push down the egg, you get a trophy. Well, in this game, it's Spyro 1, pretty much just the main beats of the story are the trophies. But there are a few in here that look different, like defeat Toasty without getting hit. That's got to be a little challenging.
yeah, for sure. And there's a lot of like defeat an enemy with a specific way or a boss or something like that. So I'm not sure about the missable. This is what I'm worried right now. Because I'll probably live stream this game. If there's any missable, I would be pissed, man.
Yeah,
And
I
there's a,
think
yeah,
I think like I think there are those missable ones where it's like you have to do a specific thing while fighting a boss, or collectibles are of course missable, but you can go back and get them. But there's
and
one that I saw that was like, don't hit any or don't kill any rats while going through the caves, and I'm remembering that part. I'm like, that's that's tough.
yeah, that's tough. But I think there will be a chapter select or something like that, right?
Well, that'd be nice.
For sure. And Spyro 2 is more of the same. It seems like they designed all the trophy lists the same way, I would say.
Yeah, very similar.
Yep, a lot of miscellaneous, a lot of collectibles and stuffy related. So I might wait to see a guide actually before starting the game, just to make sure there's no like ultra missable, like play again 15 hours to get the trophy. But pretty cool list, I would say. I'm
Yeah,
kind of
they
happy.
definitely look well rounded. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And the next, that's it for the trophies, right?
Yes.
Okay. The next segment is the question from the fans and subscriber. I'm gonna give you two choice, both from the same person. It's Permafox on PSN Profiles. He's a huge supporter of the show. He's listening at every week. So shout out to you, and he's watching pretty much all my stuff, and he's giving me feedback and stuff like that. So really appreciate the support for sure. The first one would be regarding microtransactions, and the second question is more regarding the season passes.
These are two excellent topics.
Yeah.
But I think microtransactions is what we should talk about today.
Okay. After the backlash regarding microtransactions in video games, most notably Star Wars Battlefront and others, do you feel developers will still include these in the larger game franchises in the future, or just raise the price of the game? What do you think about that?
I don't think that they're going to raise the price of games, but I do think that they are going to continuously make more and more microtransaction based games, gambling games, and especially from AAA developers. Like we've already seen Battlefield 2 get completely ruined by microtransactions, pay to win concept. If we've already seen Destiny 2, they like I said, I think in a past podcast, they increased the XP cap to get free engrams. So that would force a player who wants better gear to buy the engrams instead of just earning them through regular gameplay. We've all heard about the Shadow of War controversy with getting better orcs in your boxes than what are on the playing field. And even though these have generated a lot of different opinions, the bottom line is if one person spends $1 each on, microtransactions, let's say that there's 1 million people playing the game and 500,000 people spend $1 and buy one loot box. That's $500,000 right there.
Yeah, for sure,
So
man.
I think that the companies see the cost, they see what they're getting, and I don't think they're going to change their ways because there are people out there who still buy coins for FIFA and Madden and the NBA games, and they spend their money or they hack other people just to get the coins for FIFA and stuff like that. And companies see that and they go, "Oh, look at this guy! He bought $100 worth of coins. Like, well, we're putting this in every game forward now." So I don't think there's going to be any less microtransactions, and I don't think that they're going to raise the price of the game because really microtransactions like that aren't parts of they're not like DLCs. Because I would understand raising the game price if you included all the DLCs in the game from this day one. which is kind of shitty because it should just be the main game. But I could see where they could raise the price potentially, but I don't think they will raise the price by taking out the microtransactions.
Yeah, but in my opinion, they already raised the price, right? Like we talked about Assassin's Creed Odyssey, the base game is $60, but the season pass is like $30 more. So basically, the game, if you want the full experience, it's $90, and the game is already done. The content for the season pass is partially already done. There's stuff inside the season pass just for value, but the base game is more than the $60. So they're trying to find sneaky way to raise the price of the game, like with free to play, but pay to win and stuff like that. So Ubisoft is good for that, for the season pass. And there's other developers like CD Projekt Red, where they release a huge freaking game in Witcher 3 and supported the game free. And they release big, huge DLC, which were not really expensive. So there's different kind of publishers, different kind of developers too. So I'm not sure if we'll see like a clear way of pricing the games. It's all over the place now. So even Mega Man 11 is $40, man.
I mean, just to counter your point there, like you're still able to buy the base game for just $60 though.
Yep.
Like you're not required to buy the season pass.
No.
Until those two mesh together, I don't think we're gonna see a price change for the base game.
Nope.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but like a part of the season pass could be included in the base game. They just take a part of the game, remove it from the base game, and sold it separately.
Well, yeah, we saw that with Mass Effect 3.
Yep.
There's a whole character arc and side character who was built into Mass Effect 3. Like, he has to be there for things to make sense. And if you didn't buy the game day one, or if you didn't get the season pass, you missed out on this whole part of the story.
Yeah, I remember that.
Which was a huge controversy back then, and also still to this day, I even though I love Mass Effect 3, it's like EA still tried to jab you in the heart.
EA's the worst for that. Ubisoft is pretty bad too. And then there's good developers like CD Projekt Red. Even Rockstar is pretty good with supporting their games. So yeah, it's just a matter of cash, honestly.
And really with the microtransactions, like if it's just cosmetic, I'm not too angry about those kind of things because I don't have to have a cosmetic item. With Call of Duty World War II, I know I've said this a lot of times, but the crates in that game aren't that bad. All you get is cosmetic items, and you get enough per day to feed your gambling addiction. You don't have to spend any money. But it's the games that, like Battlefront 2 when it originally came out, like Shadow of War, that they give you those loot boxes. Like they're tasty. You want that. It's a Ferret biscuit. Well, to get better at the game, you need a loot box because these things aren't available in the game itself.
Even freaking Rocket League, man, was the worst for that. You played this game?
I don't remember that one.
No?
I played Rocket League. I don't remember there being a
yeah, man. They made several millions of dollars with the loot crates. It was all cosmetic too, but people would go crazy because you would open a loot crate and there's like one chance out of like 20, I don't know, to get an exotic stuff. A little bit like Destiny, right?
Yeah, kind of, yeah.
So, yep, people would just buy keys and buy keys and buy keys and unlock loot crates and stuff like that. So, I'm not sure. I don't like loot crates, for sure. I think nobody likes it. Even the one that buy it doesn't like loot crates, I'm pretty sure. This is a bad concept. But I'm like you said, the base game will remain like $60, at least for AAA games. But even Spyro is not $60, and that's a pretty huge game. So it's all over the place now. I'm not sure if we'll see anything past the 60 price point though. That's expensive, at least for you.
I'm willing to pay a pretty penny for a game, like $60 for a game. But I mean, it adds up. There's a lot of games in a month that I want to buy. Like this month alone, there was Spider-Man and Shadow of the Tomb Raider. That's $120 right there. And
Yeah, it's expensive,
that
man.
add $10 to that. That's add, it starts to add up. Especially if there's a lot of games that you want to play in a month, and you're not willing to wait for them to get a price drop. I just think that'd be very shitty practice if one company, it takes one company to raise the price and everyone else jumps onto it. You
Yeah, for
know,
sure.
it's just like with paying for online play. PlayStation was free, Nintendo was free, but Xbox was like, oh, we can charge people $60 a year and they'll pay for it. Well, here we go. PlayStation jumped on, and now officially Nintendo has jumped on. So, who's winning in this scenario? The
Yep.
the the freaking company is.
Exactly, and even Spider-Man, you had to pre-order the game. Like if you pre-order at Amazon, you had a costume. If you pre-order the collector's edition, you had another costume. So there's no
Mm-hmm.
way to get all the costumes if you want them. And there's a lot of huge fan of Spider-Man that are disappointed just because of that. And you can buy something like individual costumes on the PlayStation Store too. So there's microtransactions. You don't have to buy it though. You don't have to, like you said, if it's only cosmetic. I have no problem with that. But it's if a part of the story or something that will really help you during the gameplay, and like a little bit like pay to win. I have a problem with that for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep.
That answered the question, Permafox. I hope you enjoyed it. The next segment of the show, I forgot to tell you about that before the podcast, but I changed the name
Well,
of
that's
the next
fine.
segment.
Yeah, surprised me.
Yeah. Oh, you saw that?
No, I
Okay.
said.
Before it was called PlayStation from the Past. I
Mhm.
didn't like it. So now it's PlayStation Memory.
Oh,
You like that? Like a memory card?
yeah,
You like that?
I do. I think that's a good name.
Okay. So we'll keep it then. The game is Infamous. We can talk
Yeah.
about the Infamous series as a whole. You had the ID, so I'll let you begin, man.
So Infamous is infamous for being the game that was free for people who had PlayStation during the giant hack of
Yeah,
like
man, I remember
2011 or
that.
whatever. So lots and lots and lots of people played this game for free, and it was worth it.
Yeah.
Infamous is like the first game will always hold a special place in my heart, and I think I even put it on. No, I put two on my list of top 10, but the Infamous one was still one of those games that I really, 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 really enjoyed. It was basic enough that you could learn the controller really quickly, and the powers were awesome. I loved using the electricity and stuff like that. I loved going around the city. I loved all the boss fights and all the different enemies you could fight. And I loved the Paragon and Renegade options, the being good or being bad. I thought that was a great
Yeah,
idea
man.
to put in the game to choose the way you want to play. Even in the newest one, Second Son, like yeah, your good and bad options they differ, but they're really not that different.
Yeah.
But in Infamous 1 and 2, like there were things that completely changed the game around. Like if the Garbage Queen, whatever her name was, or not the Garbage Queen, but the Mud Queen, the one who was Tar, if you sided with her, her enemy, her dudes would help you instead of fighting against you. They're in the whole area. So I thought
Hmm.
that was just such a great way to evolve and change this game from being like a basic third person open world adventure to something different. And it was really special to me because it was the first game that I played where you had that choice. Most games you're stuck to being either the good guy or the, well, I guess you're really never the bad guy, but you could choose to be the good guy or the bad guy. And I thought that was like perfect. It elevated the game definitely.
For sure, man. I completely agree with you. The first game was really special for me too. Like you said, the gameplay was really special, and the good and bad was really great too. It was kind of a rough game in terms of gameplay and like detection of the collisions too. The second game is my favorite of the series for sure, and by far. The characters were really funny too, and the ending was really special. I don't know if you remember the ending,
Hmm.
man. Especially the bad ending. That was something else. I won't spoil it for you guys if you haven't played it. Well, it's 2011, so you should play it by now.
Yeah,
But
on that. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Second game is really great. And you remember the Festival of Blood, the DLC,
Yeah,
and you
yeah,
play as
that
a
was great.
vampire.
Yeah, I thought that was like, well, once again, they're like elevating the game. I know I said that
Yep.
like 3 times now, but it's literally like they're adding this new layer to it that you wouldn't expect from a game like this.
For of course, and you were a vampire. It was totally different too. It was super cheap when it released, so everybody bought it. And Second Son, I'm not a fan of. I didn't like Delzin, even though I have his how you call that? What I have in my head, man?
Figure,
A beanie, a
statue,
beanie,
avatar.
a beanie.
Oh, you have his beanie.
Yeah, it's from it's from Infamous Second Son. Didn't know that?
No, I didn't know that.
No, it's from the collector's edition actually.
I mean, it's a red beanie. I mean,
Yeah, but it's called it's San Francisco on the side.
oh,
There you go. The
oh,
more you know, the more you
yeah.
know.
Oh, that thing's gonna be
Um,
worth $1 million one day.
no, there's a lot of. Oh, because I wear it. Is that
Yeah,
it? Yeah. You
that's
can buy it.
exactly
You
what
can
it
buy
is.
it. Second Son, yeah, I wasn't like the graffiti and stuff like that were really cool addition. I didn't like Delzin. The story was good, but nothing exceptional like the first two games. The gameplay was really great though, and
Mhm.
I think I liked First Light more than Second Son actually. I thought
Yeah,
that
I.
the game was more fluid with fetch, and
Mhm.
yep, that's it. And it's 2014 now. Where's the is that a dead series once again?
It might be, but I mean, I think Insomniac took so much time to make Spider-Man. I think they put Infamous on the back burner. I think we still will see a Infamous game though.
Yeah, probably, but it's not Insomniac. It's Sucker Punch though.
Oh, that's right. I got it mixed up.
Yeah, Sucker Punch is working on Ghost of Tsushima.
Yeah, so I think they're gonna work on that game, not Spider-Man. They're gonna
No.
work on that game, and then they'll come back with another Infamous. I think that's how they're
Yeah.
gonna do.
Okay. Okay. I think they fucked themselves a little bit with Second Son. Honestly.
I don't
Um.
know, cause I liked how you could change powers. Sure, the TV one was kind of dumb, and the rock one was a little lackluster, but I really enjoyed going between smoke and neon. Like I thought that was just a perfect combination, two different ends of the spectrum in terms of what they are. You know?
Yeah. They had such a good character in Cole, and I don't know why they changed the character, the main character. Honestly, it was a
I
bad
think
move. I
they
think.
tried to they tried to give the series a fresh face, and I don't think it worked out for them.
Nope, for sure. So that's pretty much it, man. That's the end of
Yeah,
the
that's it.
podcast.
We got to another. We got to the end of another one.
Yeah, a long one, man. I like that. I like that. So that's pretty much it for the episode 6 of ChronoCast. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you again, PermaFox. I gave you a huge shout out during the question, but I really appreciate all the support and all the feedback. So thank you for your question. That was a really great question, actually. And don't forget to that you can be part of the show too, just like PermaFox, by asking your question on the Discord server, on Twitter, on Facebook, in DMs. You know how to reach us. And once again, thank you all and each and all of you for all the feedback and the love and support. It's really appreciated, and we love reading your comments in the comment section. I always tell Yemi to go in the comment section because you have a question. So I think we love to have a conversation with you guys. So that's pretty much it. So I'll talk to you on the next one. See you later, guys.